Well, my name is Abdu Murray. I was born into a Lebanese Muslim family. I took my Islam pretty seriously, so I began to study the Bible to use it against Christians. I decided to study to see if it actually is historically verifiable whether or not Jesus died on that cross and rose from the dead. I was surrounded by the evidence, and then I realized something. The opponents of Christianity are starting to concede some of the historical facts that lead you to the conclusion that Jesus was in fact raised. I wanted the resurrection to not be a historical reality, but I had intellectually believed that it was. The facts I couldn't run away from anymore. And I began to ask myself, why in the world won't I accept it though? I realized all the things I could lose, whether it was identity or family, I feared losing. I remember reading Romans 5, where Paul says that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for the ungodly. When I realized that my own seemingly petty costs keeping me from accepting that is when I decided that this single truth is the most important truth.
Family was very devout.
I come from a line of missionaries, and I was expected to carry that banner, the banner of Islam. I would explain to them that they believe Jesus Christ is God, but Jesus himself never claimed to be God.
Then you met David in college.
For the first time, someone was able to give me a response. After I realized the New Testament is trustworthy, I said, hey, look, nowhere in here does Jesus actually claim to be God. We looked at John chapter 8, verse 58, where Jesus claims to be the I am. The Pharisees got the point. They rip their clothes. They say, this man has committed blasphemy. Now, I, as a Muslim, when I'm reading this, I think to myself, now I have a problem. We look at Islam. Long story short, I could not do it. I come at the feet of God and I say, God, I cannot take a stand on this. I know that if I become a Christian, my parents will be so deeply hurt. I might even be killed for this. If I say Jesus is God and I'm wrong, I'm committing the unforgivable sin and I will go to hell forever. So I laid it at the foot of God and I said, God, you show me. Give me a vision. Give me a dream. Tell me who you are. God gave me a vision and he followed it up with 3 dreams. In this dream, I'm standing at the threshold of a narrow door, a room set with a feast. And he says, you never responded. I called up David and he says, Nabeel, just go to Luke chapter 13. And in big bold letters, it says, the narrow door. When I read these words, I realized God had given me a dream where he placed me into a section of his scripture. I just bowed down that day and I said, Jesus, I believe you are God and I submit to you as my Lord.